What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz win huge lawsuit. Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal have been involved in a legal battle with FanMio, the company that promoted their boxing match last year. But this week, the two both picked up big wins in their respective cases. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. According to the two, who filed separate lawsuits after the 2024 boxing match, the company never paid them their agreed upon purses. This week, an arbitrator sided with the original BMF, ordering FanMio to pay him $5.3 million. Meanwhile, a separate arbitrator ruled that the company must pay Diaz $6 million, and FanMio founder Solomon Engel must pay Diaz another $500,000. Both fighters are now waiting on a federal judge to approve the arbitrator's ruling. However, from the sounds of things, at this point, it's more a question of when the judge approves the decision rather than the question of if the judge will approve the decision. Alex Pereira goes off on Magomed Ankalaev injuries. During a recent interview, Alex discussed injuries heading into his latest fight and also reacted to Magomed Ankalaev claiming he had a rib injury. Alex said, "I've always been injured in injuries, man. It's all the same. Now Ankalaev is talking about a broken rib or whatever he had. Bro, if you saw my injuries right now, me fighting him today, he'd feel like he wouldn't even come back to fight again. He'd be like, damn, what am I even doing in this organization? He'd quit, man. I'm not even going to say anything. I'll bet him though. I'll show him my medical results. What I've got versus what you've got. I doubt this guy has dealt with the things I've dealt with, man." Alex also surprised and bought Glover Teixeira a brand new truck after his win over Magomed Ankalaev at UFC 320. Here's the clip.
Galera, esse cara sempre me surpreendendo. Olha aí, olha o presentão. Hã? Ele sabe que eu gosto dessa caminhonete muito. Sem palavra, né, cara? Sempre junto, comemorando. Vitória. Casa Branca agora.
UFC updates. Heading into this weekend's card in Vancouver, let's take a look at today's UFC updates, starting with a new addition to the UFC Qatar card next month. According to AG Fight, Muhammad Naimov is set to collide with Myron Santos in a bout that will see Naimov look to build on a 2-fight win streak, and Santos look to extend his 3-0 UFC record. In other news, Justin Gaethje also reacted to Khabib Nurmagomedov, calling him the hardest puncher he's ever faced, with the video shared on social media.
How did it feel hearing Khabib say that you hit the hardest?
Nobody hit me harder than Justin Gaethje.
I hit him really hard. Kicked him really hard. And I hit him with a good right hand. Hearing Khabib say I hit the hardest is...
He hit like truck.
doesn't feel that good because he still beat me.
Undefeated!
Still did not win the championship, so... I mean, it's, yeah, I don't know. It's cool.
So fun facts, roughly 26 million people, 24% of adults in Russia tuned in to watch Khabib's title fight.
That's insane.
On Channel 1 Russia. It's a free TV. It was free in Russia, right? 1/4 of the adult population of Russia
was watching
Khabib.
Was watching you.
Was watching you.
Well, they probably tuned in after.
Yeah.
An alarm goes off. It's time. Felder's done winning / maybe not winning a split decision.
You won.
I don't think we really grasped what a star Khabib was. It was crazy how he became a household name in North America. Like people be like, "Oh, who's the baddest guy?" "Oh, Khabib, that crazy guy, wrestles bears, beat Conor." He was 10 times that in Russia.
Next up, we got an update on the UFC 321 card set for the end of the month. With the card taking place in Abu Dhabi, Laura Sanko will be replacing Joe Rogan in the commentary booth and joining Jon Anik and Daniel Cormier. And last but not least, despite an outpouring of public criticism for the Muhammad Ali American Boxing Revival Act, the California State Athletic Commission has officially voted to support the bill. The bill now needs to pass the House of Representatives and the Senate. However, after the CSAC's approval, the expectation is that it's only a matter of time. Once it's approved, the door will officially be open for Dana White and Zuffa Boxing. Khamzat Chimaev reveals Sean Strickland had to protect himself following online feud. At one point in time, Sean Strickland and Khamzat Chimaev were able to share the mat together and train without issue. However, to the middleweight champion, everything changed once he got angry with Strickland. During an appearance on the Badayev podcast this week, Chimaev explained the situation, recalling how Strickland was talking trash to another Chechen fighter and he simply stood up for his teammate. When we used to train together, he was normal. One time I got angry with him. Next day, he was walking with the gym. He thought I'll attack him. We had a group chat for our gym. There was one guy from Chechnya in there. He wrote something, I thought all Chechens are strong. I wrote him back, you're American chicken, I'll beat you up. He later said that I misunderstood him. That's all what happened really. I spoke English badly at that time. I couldn't tell you what exactly happened. While Strickland is suspended right now, he's already made it clear that his sights are set on dethroning Chimaev and bringing the title back to America. Garry says JDM will dominate Islam Makhachev in striking. Islam Makhachev has shown that he's more than capable of hanging with opponents on the feet, even if his grappling is still the most dominant aspect of his game. The way Garry sees things, however, Makhachev won't be able to keep up with Jack Della Maddalena when the two share the octagon in New York next month. During an appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, Garry explained that the result will all come down to whether JDM can stop the takedowns of Makhachev. The fight for me really is, when Islam grabs hold of Jack, how good has Jack improved? Because Islam is world class at that, and has been probably his entire life because of the way he trains. So can Jack stop that consistently like he did against Belal? Because he did a phenomenal job against Belal stopping him. But can he do that against someone who's just cleaner and more technical? On the feet, I think Jack wins cleanly. I think Jack can do it on the feet, but the question mark is, can he stop the takedown consistently for 5 rounds? If Garry wins his upcoming fight against Belal Muhammad in Qatar, he could very well wind up being next in line for the winner.
A huge ask for Islam. Credit to him for stepping up to the plate and coming up to welterweight. He definitely got my respect for being able to move up a weight class and fight Jack Della. Like, it's something that even, the greatest lightweight of all time, Khabib, who never managed to chase that accomplishment in being a 2-division champion. So credit to him, but it's a huge ask. Obviously, we go with football, Jack.
There's a reason UFC fighters bring ice packs to game night, and it's not for the drinks. Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is the largest injury law firm in America, with over 1,000 attorneys nationwide. They've recovered over $25 billion for more than 500,000 clients. Morgan & Morgan has been fighting for the people for over 35 years. When you hire them, it's like hiring a legal army that has your back. The results speak for themselves. In Florida, a client received $12 million after the insurance company offered just $350,000. In Pennsylvania, another client was awarded $26 million, 40 times the insurer's $650,000. If you're injured because of someone else's negligence, you deserve to be paid. Not all law firms are created equal. Hiring the wrong one can cost you. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan and go to our link at forthepeople.com/MMA. Again, if you're injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan and go to our link at forthepeople.com/MMA. Their fee is free unless they win. Reinier De Ridder agrees that Jon Jones and Khamzat are nightmare matchup for Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira may have his sights set on a super fight with Jon Jones at heavyweight. However, the way Reinier De Ridder sees things, Jones isn't the only threat to Pereira. Ahead of his fight with Brendan Allen this weekend, RDR spoke with MMA Fighting about Khamzat Chimaev's call-out of Pereira and the light heavyweight champion's chances against grapplers like Jones and Chimaev. 100% we haven't really seen what Alex can do, cause he's mostly been fighting strikers. Even Ankalaev is mostly a striker, but let me get some work with Khamzat first. While there's no word from the UFC on a Pereira-Jones fight at the White House, Olympian Gable Stevenson, who trains with Jones, spoke about the two possibly sharing the card together during an interview with MMA Fighting. Man, that'd be incredible. I try not to think too big, but sometimes it's just big moments come and you can't deny them. And I think having an Olympic champion, an American person, a guy that's going to go out there and represent the White House on the biggest stage possible, and I think it could be really nice. The fact that you even asked me, it's cool. It sent a chill on me. Although RDR's fight with Brendan Allen is right around the corner, the former ONE champ shared a video with fans showing that he weighs 220 pounds, just 3 days out from his fight. While RDR was wearing heavy clothing, it sounds like he's still got plenty of weight left to cut. Dricus du Plessis needs to work on ground game to earn Khamzat rematch. Even though champions who defend their titles multiple times often get immediate rematches once they lose the belt, because Dricus du Plessis lost such a lopsided fight, Reinier De Ridder believes that the former champion has a long way to go before he earns a rematch. Leading up to his fight this weekend, He spoke with Full Send MMA about the title picture at 185. If the belt can change hands, then he has a good chance of fighting for the title again. But for the Khamzat fight, he might have to demonstrate something when he gets to his back before he fights Khamzat again. So maybe he needs to let somebody take him down and show that he's worked on his jiu-jitsu from the bottom. Ironically, this week, Chimaev also reflected on the fight, recalling how he thought DDP was going to be a tougher fight for him. To be honest, I thought he'd be stronger than he was. He's not a bad fighter. I didn't let him work much. My wrestling and grappling techniques are on another level. That's why he couldn't show what he wanted in the fight. While there was initially talk of Chimaev making a quick turnaround, Brendan Allen is now worried that the champion may end up holding up the division. While speaking with members of the press this week, leading up to Saturday's main event, Allen went so far as to compare Chimaev to Conor McGregor.
Man, I think there's a couple divisions. It's all over the place right now, and middleweight's one of them. Yeah, it's definitely a concern, you know. It's very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how fast he wants to turn around. You know, he's a guy that's been very open and honest about injuries and setbacks with his health, and yeah, it's definitely concerning. Hopefully we don't have to have an interim, or hopefully they don't even do an interim if it comes to that. Hopefully we just strip and he comes back and fights for it if that were to happen. But I think that's kind of like the story of Chimaev, right? Like, he just talks a lot, he gets a lot of eyes, like it's not to the degree, but it's like Conor talking just to stay relative.
Although Allen and RDR are hoping to earn a crack at the title on Saturday, Nasruddin Imavov is also waiting in the wings. Dana White removes multiple fighters from UFC roster. On the heels of last weekend's UFC Rio card, the UFC has parted ways with 4 fighters, according to SureDog's Tom Feely. First up, we got Irina Alekseeva, who lost her 3rd straight bout this past weekend, dropping her UFC record to 1-3. UFC fighter Yana Santos reacted to the news of Irina Alekseeva being released by writing, "How do you fail a weigh-in, lose 90% of your fights, and get busted for PEDs in just 4 appearances?" Next up, we have Andre Muniz, who was finished by Edmund Shabazian in the very first round on the UFC 320 card earlier this month. The loss dropped him to just 1-4 over his last 5, with his most recent win taking place back in 2023. In addition, as we previously reported, Justin Tafa has been released after his botched weight cut leading up to the UFC Perth card, with the heavyweight now planning to take some time off from MMA. And last but not least, we have Brogan Walker, who lost her 3rd straight fight on the UFC 320 card, falling to Veronica Hardy after a 2.5-year layoff.